It is early doors as of writing this, late August, but we're moving upwards on Patreon to a stage where I can hire at least a part-time editor, which would be so amazing to take the pressure off. Check it out using the link below and hopefully you'll find a tier that perfectly suits you. Hope to see you over there. It's good that they show the rank and file actually trying to also stop these giant creatures. I mean, I wouldn't stand in front of it, but it's still good to show it. After seeing the damage from the first cannon attack, it's got me on the edge of my seat, hoping it doesn't strike this poor baby. And that is exactly what I was talking about 2 wins back. Happy they showed me that as well. Oh no, that's even worse because I thought he was going to give it aid. I gave that a win at the end of the last video. Huh? Still a very lucky snail. Love the static art style used on it here. Glad we were told this. I had wondered how Franky and Robin in CP9 got across that giant chasm. Also makes sense for security purposes. Also take one for her revealing how she knew about it and is obviously also angry at them for what they did to Tom back then. Even giving the little girl a valid reason to have been in the story arc other than for the occasional comedy purpose. This guy is getting another win, yet again, for keeping our crew as fresh as possible during the plan. Damn son, just when the plan is really getting going, we see some of that chaotic energy right in our faces with this happening. As a side note, consistently putting new and powerful foes in our hero's path. It's reasonable given the scope and importance of this place to the world government. Really didn't expect that. They really bully the one in the middle. Oh, I so hope they're going to help out members of our crew after learning the truth. That'd be so tight. Just as good as I was hoping it'd be. Oda was like, I know how it'll be 10 times better and did this. I absolutely love it. It was exactly what I was hoping would happen and there he is leading them. This is huge. Really starting to seriously love and appreciate Franky? Cannot tell you how happy I am that devil fruits are maybe going to be explained away a bit here. Up till now, they've been very random other than having groupings. Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about. My god, I have good timing sometimes. Turns out, you can explode if you eat 2 different devil fruits. Dude even explained away how everyone knows the name of the fruit ability they have. Weird win, but seeing him without a hat is strange as hell. He looks totally different. Learning so much, as now I can fully understand why Shanks was so angry that Luffy ate it, because that's an incredible amount of money for them. Him showing how well you can do battle when you combine all of these abilities they have. Was going to include that with the last one, but hell no. So much damage animation, so it needs its own. such a stupidly creative ability. Like I said in the last video, originally I was like, okay, cool. And then it went next level when he used it to grab Robin, and now using it in combat. I wrote the last win. Imagine how I felt when he suddenly did this. Oh my goodness. These creatures are already becoming legends. They were all about to get off of it to make their way to the gate when likely Chopper translated for it with its plan here. Whoever decided to echo his voice there is also a legend. Keep giving me endings that clearly need wins and I'll keep dishing them out. No clue how he does such a different sounding voice, but somehow he manages it. It's very impressive, really. It's genuinely so sad that it's so badly hurt, and yet with it enough to tell them to stay on its back so it can lead them into the final area. These women, as in the last video, continue to keep going up in my estimations too. Clearly they greatly care for the creature. Love that! For context, All Might said, Franky, some monsters beat up Solomon and Gomorrah, and this was Franky's reaction once they'd become a part of the family. Max wins here because not only did they do this to help themselves, obviously, but it's definitely also the case that they wanted to protect the creature who had helped them so much till now. He got them there and safely. He gets a win in his honor just like his brother did last video. Absolutely amazing animals introduced again by Oda. Just hope they'll be okay.
バスターコール発動のため青生地から預かってはいるがこのボタン一つで島一つ消える
Love me some simple Navy lore like this, that they carry a golden communication snail to call in the busticle, normally just given to admirals.
世界政府に逆らったバカどもの慣れの果てを一緒に聞いてみようぜ。潜入してきた海賊約60名にエニエスロビー本当ない最終地点裁判所前広場まで攻め込まれました。
I cannot express how much I loved that moment. He thinks he is about to receive a call, stating that they've all been captured or wiped out, gloating over Robin before getting the call. So good!
攻め込むぞ野郎どもフランキーの兄貴を救うんだ
Glad they didn't leap into action, as badass as that was, but instead first gave thanks to the brothers for even getting them this far together, which was very sweet. Not running over its back on the spot. I swear the numerous animals in this story are always given such huge props and roles in the story, and rightfully so. So confused there for a moment. I thought he was yelling at Chopper, but no, Sanji ran off and took one out right away. Also, whilst I'm here, take another, because I thought it was badass of Zoro to slightly draw his sword to protect Nami prior to the frog leaping into the path of the chain ball. Imagine being those two and hearing that. Like, you'd still be very worried about them dealing with the entire crew of CP9, but it's gotta make you happy. Holding his face together. Glad his ability cannot last forever, though. Prime example of people in One Piece not having long chats all the time during a battle and sometimes leaping in to attack one another without saying what they're gonna do. super creative angles done via the animation that I'm not sure we've seen done before. Luffy really starting to learn his attacks here warms my heart, because he's actively learning whilst getting stronger. The smoothest rotating shot in forever. Two wins here. Firstly, I noticed whilst he said it that Usopp was facing away. That's either done as a gag or perhaps more likely to showcase the current state of sad affairs. But also it was good to see Luffy put into words why he wants to get stronger in the meantime. Not to get the One Piece, not to become Pirate King, to keep his friends safe. Oh my goodness, something huge is happening already. Take a quick win! So good. Easy ending win. He's going second gear. It's an upgrade to all his abilities. I'm about to lose my mind because he's never done anything like this before. Kudos to them for continuously showing us these top-down map events as well, always keeping us up to date on where everyone is and in some cases, who they're fighting too. I'm loving it. Nice touch to show Chopper fighting in the background as he runs inside. What I liked about this is that the big three-headed judge dude just got done slamming his gavel and saying he'll now pass judgment on them all, and meanwhile they've ignored him to do this. Oh my god, he really has gotten super strong! Without a doubt, one of the funniest moments in One Piece. The randomness of Sanji catching up and attacking slightly Zoro and Chopper because he wants to go first for Nami's sake. Okay, you know what? You give me two all-time best jokes, one after the next. You gotta take Max wins. He only had to go up the stairs in front of them. Really playing on the humour of this moment. This is so funny as a scene. He's gonna make him medicine for being hopeless. Two wins. Firstly, this was unexpected that he himself would fly into combat against them. Secondly, I can't believe how Chopper's voice actress can totally change the voice in this form to a more masculine one. She is incredible. Well, that's getting max wins all day long, because when an anime sets up a fight, it 100% happens. Zoro said, I'll take him on, you two go on ahead. Then a total change of plans. I love it. That's also scoring max wins, and not only because it was shocking and a new attack and a hit and everything else, but it's because they really showed the raw speed of the attack there. Quick one for showing that not only are his attacks fast, but they're causing real damage too. Part rotating shot before another attack lands. Basically one for the fact that he's using his body like a gun in this mode, almost. One of the best twists in a long time, that Luffy, whilst fighting them, managed to pick up and basically expertly use one of their own secret skills in CP9. Whilst I'm here, take another for the realism of him freaking out and running away now. This representation of what his ability is like through his own eyes is incredible, so he exists within the same world but cannot be seen? That's insane. He's so quick, it's so good.
Go!
That was incredibly shocking as well, to take an attack like that head on. Seems this battle won't be over quite as quickly as I first thought.
Yep.
Yet another Max wins, baby! It's twofold. It's because he had another gear he could get into, but also because of the shock that the impact knocked him out cold on his feet. Brilliant stuff.
すげえ疲れた。まあ、今はいいや、体なんか。
Just giving this a nodding win, clearly it'll become relevant as the fights continue. Got me feeling a tad nervous for him as well. Made me so happy seeing them all continuing to fight as well. Usopp and the shipbuilders en route via the Giants, them holding the line of the courthouse. It's such a great arc already. Giving us this inside look of the courthouse was an amazing addition after all of the top-down map-type views we've had of the whole place to date, and bless her, she's fighting to the top. Very weird win, but I just thought that little hop away and blast was magnificent. Nice to see Nami also going on to the attack though, I must say. Is it me, or is that not a great sounding song? Super profound statement to hear that shocked me a little to my core, as it made me understand no matter what happens, this puts them on the map in huge ways. Wish I could show the entire great scream with their reactions, but it's a little bit too long, but oh hell yes, that was amazing. Also that ending, I've come to get you, plus the buildings looked real good too, can't forget that. How he's not coming to terms with how powerful this force is so far. He's so confused because a very strong member of CP9 was there, now he's not. I am so happy that this was shown, because I swear I thought to myself at the end of the last episode, I think he pocketed some meat when it was brought to the train, and here it is. Finding out what happened to him and that oh so nice reaction of fear, but also I wanted to shout out how they didn't do a 6-minute recap on this one, very short and sweet. That needs another! Lots of animating at a distance in this scene. Franky giving the start of some power back to Robin, I hope, via his very strong and well-worded words here. It was well written, I thought, to begin the process of lighting a fire under her. Brilliant start to the episode, feels like he's saying he's going to aid her in getting to him. What a journey from hating him to thinking he's badass and kind and awesome. Is there any limit to the weird, wild and wonderful things he can do with his body? What a brilliant, clever, and not to mention realistic tactic of him to use in this instance. I bow down to Oda Sensei and his amazing brain of power. So basically, it was a giant mechanical type of breaking of wind or something? Really sweet how he grabbed Robin right before as well, since she was still downtrodden too. Might be one of the coolest things to say to give yourself extra jumping distance when you're in a life or death situation.
まあいい、麦わらがいるぞ。さあおめえ、ちゃんとあいつに答えろ。
I am loving this arc a dangerous amount, if that's a thing, because it's not playing out how I keep thinking it will, as right now they're free, for now, likely just for now, sadly.
よかった、まだそこにいたのか。ルフィ。
She's still crazy attractive too. I think the pain and indecision is shown well through the past few episodes. She wants to go, but she also wants to save them from a greater strength than what is here right now.
何度も言ったわ。私はあなたたちの元へは戻らない。
Sadly, she's still not being true to herself, in a way, as in being entirely honest, which is exactly what Franky wanted from her before he broke her free, bless him.
私はもう死にたいのよ。
That is both very sad and very shocking to hear. She's utterly resigned herself to her demise there. Things going from bad to worse with them now turning up, but I'd be a big fat liar if I said it wasn't hyping me up more and more for what's coming around the corner. Don't even care, take another win, because it's not just two of them, but all of them. Nervous now!
ここは世界で最も権威ある公正な裁判所。
What Oda does that blows my mind in arcs like this is he switches his focus often to show us how the others are holding up, like these down here.
それゆえこの町で無罪になった者など歴史上一人もおらんのだ。
Sounds about right from what I thought would be the case ages ago, that this is no real court, literally no one is found to be not guilty. That's what I keep saying. He makes us love the animals because of how much background and love he gives them, so when things like this happen, it hurts my heart. Yes! Just when I think it's over and they're going to storm the courthouse, these two legends make it to the front lines. A very simple scene of Zoro going in a big old circle. I struggle to express my adoration for Zoro. People said it right when they commented how insane it was that he's so powerful yet isn't the leader. He's truly amazing to me. I tell you what's a nice touch here is not seeing them both standing guard, but one stands there whilst the other causes havoc and pushes their lines back.
ロビン、俺たちもうここまで来ちまったから。
How Luffy isn't doing something profound or super meaningful here, but is more confused and or slightly ticked off that they already came all this way for her.
とにかく助けるからよ。着地。
And then for her perfect landing and saying it at the same time, plus Luffy just saying, oh well, we'll rescue you anyway. Her face after hearing his words. Back-to-back wins, Robin seeing them all and her face looking like a state of shock with a tinge of joy perhaps. But also that they're all up there finally, right in front of Robin and Franky. Cannot wait for this, probably the most hyped I've ever been for a One Piece arc.
死ぬとかなんとか何言っても構わねえからよ。そういうことはお前俺たちのそばで言え。
Now that is a profound thing to say. Say what you want to do, whatever it may be, but say it at the side of the crew you're a part of, not alone. Yeah, I like that a lot. How Oda continues to show her defenses go down in stages like this. Couldn't have timed that win any better, but have another here for another stage being reached and the music there. These are the things I keep praising that I call a nice touch or whatever. Is Chopper clearly helping him up in the background and him saying thank you. they're doing a badass walk like the boys did when helping Nami out with Arlong so long ago. Beautiful animation, goodness that fills my heart with light and joy. Worth pointing out that his mask cracked somewhere along the way, maybe after Nami's lightning attack earlier, and he fixed it with tape. Annoyingly, the one thing that likely triggers something in her and will make her again back down, sadly. Hopefully we're about to learn more of her backstory now, but also wanted to win this moment, which never hit me at the time. Don't think I've ever hated a villain so much. Maybe it's because he's weak, propped up by the system, and those others who are more powerful protecting his annoying ass, but it's something. Speaking of profound statements, that's one right there that explains away how the Navy can perform such terrible attacks, because they only think of the big picture all the time, to a degree. Two wins. One, we're finally getting to see her backstory after so long. Two, what a beautiful sight her home was before it was utterly destroyed. Such a good job is done of making a gorgeous looking sight back then. The quite frankly shocking reveal that she's had this ability since she was a little kid, much the same as Luffy, which explains why they're so good at using their abilities. I found it very sweet to see that Robin has really changed in this regard, just loving the peace and quiet, but also of course reading her books. After the last win, seeing that perfect scene be disturbed like this was painful, especially to know that Robin, even as a child, was an outcast, called a monster. Trust Oda to give us a city filled with yet more totally different looking buildings to anything that's come before it.
本当オムライス好きだな。
の誕生日なので、今夜は家族3人水入らずで外食することにしました。
Then following up with the win 2 prior with this one. Even an outcast in her own family, with her aunt even describing it as such in the letter. We went out as a family. She's rarely belonged, till now. And then it's revealed that she's clearly only allowed to even live there because they're using her for cleaning and numerous other difficult chores, then having her hide herself away. Facial expressions are so well done. Just wanted to shout out this character because even though I don't know any of his work, he sadly passed away in October of 2007, and as you know, in this series, I like to remember them. Made me really happy to see that, in spite of her terrible home life, she had this kind of love shown towards her. Ah, she's so happy! Back-to-back wins. Firstly, it was this scene looking stunning as an internal shot, full of detail, and then all the people in there too. But also the sadness that this was all clearly soon to be destroyed by the Navy. So much knowledge wiped out. It's been quite some time since they last spoke about the blank century, or a time where nothing was recorded. Glad it's been brought back into focus here. It's seriously interesting. Glad it wasn't the case that adults just being mean for the sake of it. No, he was doing it to protect her, knowing they were all breaking the law and could meet their end for doing so. That's another big reveal, but also as an aside, it starts to make more sense why finding these stones and reading them has been such a huge part of her life goal, after seeing this and what comes soon. She was insanely brave as a child, just thought that was worth winning as a part of her character. She's so damn adorable. Just standing there watching him.
変な笑い方
Yes, it is. I'm learning that that's the case for most giants at this point. Such a unique thing to add to your story.
笑うと可愛いでねえか。もっと笑った方がええぞ。
What I love about that is not only is he correct, but the voice actress seemed to copy what I've described before as adult Robin's heavenly laugh. It's so sweet and lovely.
嬉しいし、気持ちが嬉しいでよ。あとはお前食え。
I don't know which is more sweet to me, her likely offering up her own food for him to eat, or him giving half back to her so she could eat it.
さんはいるけど小さい頃仕事で海に出たっきりで顔も覚えてないの
It struck me as win-worthy that her personality is so similar all these years later, still fairly quiet and doesn't speak much when she doesn't have to, plus look how this melted her heart.
やっぱ変な笑い方
For context, he said, "Not only am I not freaked out by you, I envy your fruit ability. It must be useful," and then they laughed like this together. He was probably the first to ever say it.
デリシシシシシシシ
うめえうめえ。
Oh my word, that was one of the cutest things ever!
なんだで。あからさまに寂しそうな顔して。
Also, I like how it's the same voice actress who voiced Daisy in the 6th movie that I've covered. She is the child who could hear the crew calling for Luffy. Shame she just did 2 roles and that's it.
そういや、旗でもつけようと思ってたとこだで。もう少しここにおるでよ。
She really did look sad as well, bless her eternal little heart.
デレシデレシシシシシシ。
デリシシシシシシ
And him being a massive sweetheart. He could see that she was upset and so decided suddenly that he needed a flag for his new ship, and thus it would require him to hang around longer.
うわ大変だで。なんてこった。わしは大原に流れ着いとったのか。
In no way am I skipping past her being so happy that he's staying a bit longer either.
この島の学者たちを消し去るためだ。
消し去る
Amazing zoom out shot showing where they are by the coast and then the entire island. The tree is so big, and of course part of the win is the mystery. He knows the island and her mother.
久しぶりねみんな
Robin's mother, how are you related win? What I liked here is that they, as a group, in no way allowed her to feel guilt, or those who passed away, that they left behind a trail back to them. They're one team. It was very sweet.
ごめんねロビン全ての謎を解いて必ず帰ってくるからね
How they aged Robin correctly again, looking much younger here when her mother left. And also how it was shown that she really didn't want to leave her, to the point where the people on the ship were saying, maybe you should stay behind. She really loved her.
本を読みたいときはわしに言いなさい。
でも私お金持ってないから
Also, it was good to see how her troubles at her new home first began sadly with her uncle's terrible wife, but also how she met him and got into reading books and so on. Reminds me that I haven't done this win in a while, but an entire crowd where everyone looks different to one another. Oh, that's such a shame, man. Literally right past one another.
いちいち起こしてまで言うことがくれ。
I'm not gonna stop winning my boy Dio, especially when he busts out a Dio voice right there.
通り。考古学の聖地大原が叩き潰されれば学会の大事件。
It now makes sense why they'd busted call this place. It seems it was twofold. Firstly, to destroy their research and everyone who was doing it, and secondly, to send a message as stated here.
止めろ。
You can see how they were part of CP whatever number back then, using similar techniques.
どこにあるんだ。西の海岸だ。急げ。早く行け。西の海岸だぞ。
The reality behind the utter panic people would feel, especially, I suppose, those like him with kids, wanting to get them to safety or hearing the information secondhand and being confused.
ロビンそんなに
In the vein of realism as Robin, not knowing this is her mother, is shy when being stared at like this.
ほどい。ああ。
死ぬ前に五老星世界のトップと話をさせろ。
Spitting out a really interesting piece of lore there suddenly.
だぜロビン早くこの島から逃げるでよ
Really wholesome that this giant was trying to find Robin even though he could easily have already left the island. Darth Weirdo, Fiji, Mal Liao, Mushwin, Nick Wyndham, The Elementator Wars, Christopher Willis, Emmanuel Gonzalez, Fancy Turtle, Kepan, Minimasher, Marquez, Nozomi, Orkeeper, Order Steelers, The Epic Commander, Bird Without a Word, Brendan Greer, Brian Bayard, Cameron, Christopher Tarasa, Commander Cyrus, David Freriks, Devicool, Doggos for Life, Dragonstorm 35, Guru, James DeFoyer, Yor Edvinson, Kevin Alston, Cumfroik, Miora Night Sky, Mr.Mansu, Nightly Winter, Peter Milligan, Robert Jackson, Ruby Rose, Sataki Ari, Zions 44, Sean, Starkip, Tiger Lily Warrior, Alexander Schwartz, Ali 50, Amadillo, Anador, Brainless Ben, Cecilia, Cedric, Cloud Garden, Dante Sol, Dante's Face, Doug Globe Bloody Soul, Donald Newborn, Dragon Defender, Dragon Boy 1, Drake's Daughter, Iso, Francie, FuriousMoe, Garrett Vermeesh, Henrik Jessen, Host Losritter, Israel Caldera, Joe Crims, Jason Davies, John, Jaffa 6263, Kai Wolfspring, Kelnock, Kevin Nelter, Kevin 102, Knuckle Duster, Kody Niemeier, Kai 158, Carl Jones, Laxor, Laxus, Liam Gagati, Lifty, Lionel Schultz, Luis Minito, Marvin, Mason Stelfer, Matthew Blancet, Michael Lewis, Mihran Ardjian, Modavirum, Mr. Firecool, Nathaniel Gigremosa, Natsu Dragneel, Nick Monaco, Nick Pell, Nuvagown 1928, Oliver Smiley Reacts, OliveWharf, Onyx Calif, Oscar I. Lopez, Owen Halloran, Porgy, That's a Fish, Q-Flash, Chris Harris, Rimuru, Rodies, Roll Tide Wes, Ryan DeViri, Sadaholic, Sakomi Arorim, Sarcastic Truth, Shadow Cleanser, Snowy, Stan, Storm 970, TRS, The Danish Muggle, Thrasher 340, Tomo Sandy, Vernon Hogan, Wacky Normal, Will Sass, Willyman.